Good afternoon, sir. So today we have Steve Gaun, sir, who is a Grammy award-winning flutist and a saxophone artist. We also have Dexter Payne, who's a clarinet artist. Along with that, we have Arun Buddhiraja, sir, who's the founder of Ayushman India. It was lovely having you, sir, and we thoroughly enjoyed the Jugalbandi that you did on stage. So I would like to throw a few simple questions at you just to gain a simple understanding behind the creative process that you go through. The first thing that I'd like to ask you, sir, is as someone who has mastered an instrument deeply rooted in Indian classical tradition, how do you navigate bringing these sounds to global audiences? As we can guess, not a lot of people in the West might be aware of the classical Indian music. How do you pique the audience's interest?
That's a very good question. I think the answer is that music has a power to transform how we feel. And it's true all over the world. It's true with all different kinds of music. In the West, because of technology, YouTube, Spotify, people are hearing music from everywhere in the world. There are people loving Indian classical music in the West, not so much as rasikas, Indian listeners, but as people that hear the music as a portal for meditation, a portal for contemplation, for yoga, things like that. That's the way that this music has had a tremendous meeting with many of my friends in the West.
Okay, sir, that's lovely. Sir, I would like to ask you the second question. When it comes to playing any instrument, right? How has your journey been with the particular instrument that you use and your understanding of the relationship between breath and consciousness?
Well, if we don't breathe, then we're not conscious.
Absolutely, sir. How does that consciousness
and
go into
actually
the
playing a wind instrument is a portal to slowing the breath, which is a real key to consciousness. So it becomes a vehicle for consciousness.
All right, sir.
Yeah.
One last question. Sir, I would like you to answer this.
Sure, John. Go ahead.
How has your understanding of music as a universal language evolved throughout your life?
Well, it started, my music came to my life when we had a small kitchen and my mother used to cook. In those days, you didn't have gas. You had coal when you ate food. And she's a singer, not by profession, but by passion. And kitchen is my favorite place. So two things came together. The kitchen food and music. And we doing my homework from school. So I see the evolution very interesting. I see a lot of experimentation happening, which is good. It's just that it should not be done at the cost of leaving the traditional or the classical music. But good thing is that people like Steve Gaun and Dexter can very easily fit in to an Indian classical, and like he played jazz today with an Indian bamboo flute. So it was a demonstration how it can coexist. So it should not become either or. I would like to see more of that happening. Sure.
All right. Good to know, sir. Lastly, I would just like to ask you one last question from all of you. How was your experience at SVYASA, not just the Jigni campus, as well as this new campus?
I am very interested in what the mission of SVYASA is, to integrate the East and West, to take advantage, to allow the flowering of all the wonderful Indian arts and have them be recognized by Western science, medical people, and this is very exciting. I find this very exciting to be here for that reason.
That's amazing. So in my case, it's about 2 decades that I've been with SVYASA. in Jigni. And what surprises me, not only he's my guru, Dr. Nagendra, but S. Vyasa is our institutional partner to Ayushman India. We do a lot of work together. Every time I come here, there's always a button pressed on refresh. There is something happening. The latest being where he's saying, okay, let allopathy coexist. And let me see what is the reduction in allopathy. So it's not just the fascinating view campus that you have, which for a moment I took it as an IT sector. If there's education, all the more important, you are in the middle of business and you want to integrate the teachings to go up to the business. So I personally think that there is a constant evolution of this organization under Guruji, and now of course the able leadership of Dr. Manjunath, who has also done path-breaking work. So that speaks volumes. There is no sitting on your laurels. There is no sitting back on, oh, I've done this and I've been there, done that. There's constantly innovation and renovation happening, which is what amazes me. And of course, the physical building also, because I've seen S. Vyasa 20 years back. So if you compare that to this, or even compare what is the new buildings within S. Vyasa Jigni, in Prashanti Kudiram, there is evolution happening constantly. So I wish you all luck, and you're very fortunate that you're part of this organization.
Thank you so much, sir. One small question. What do you think is the evolution of S. Vyasa here onwards?
I personally think more than the evolution of S. Vyasa, I see the penetration and the sharing of S. Vyasa learnings and teachings in the modern world. See, for example, in yesteryear, we found students coming from Bihar, UP, B-Town, okay, C-Town. I see now A-Town coming. You will look at your register, you'll find a lot of people from cities coming. You'll see a demographic change. That's what I see the evolution, and I see it going very far. So the very fact that demographics will change, so will the canvas of S. Vyasa will also change. So in the next 50 years, I see it becoming hand in hand to the modern world where India is going. It will be a step further and perhaps the engine to take modern India forward.
That's a wonderful insight, sir. Thank you so much.